What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be jumping into Superman and the Authority, issue number 2. And if you didn't catch issue number 1, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on in this line. And as we continue on with this line, Clark Kent and Manchester Black, they are working to create this new Superman team, with Superman powers no longer being at top notch. He wants to be able to create a team that can be able to take on whatever comes at Earth. Now, this is written by Grant Morrison. The pencils are Evan Cagle, Mikkel Jonin, and Fico Osis. The inks are the same, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into issue number 2, we're seeing Superman doing his workout regiment. And let there be no mistake, Superman is still immensely powerful, but at this point in his life, his powers have slowly started to weaken. Getting into his older age, there seems to be something that has been dampening his power, and this is something that's been going on in Action Comics and the Superman line. Batman has been investigating exactly why he has been deteriorating, but we've also seen Jonathan really growing in powers, and it's even been speculated that he is going to surpass Clark Kent when it comes to abilities and strength. And after we see some banter between Superman and Black, they say it is time to start the recruitment process, to bring the names to the table that you have in mind, and let's start tracking them down and inviting them upon our team. And that's what drops us into the Steelworks, Metropolis HQ of the family Steel. And we see John Henry Irons having a huge issue going on right now, and Natasha Irons making her way in to try to help her uncle. Steel trying to tell her that she needs to stay back because he was exploring the data cosmos. And in doing this, they were attacked by hostile digital life forms. And what they're seeing is Wi-Fi having a consciousness, unfolded from the network, and using Steel as a bridge. And so while Steel is working effortlessly on his end to be able to shut all of this down, he needs Natasha to be able to hold the front lines. And with her picking up the hammer, she starts laying waste to some robots. All of these robots spouting all kinds of just ridiculous things that are not facts. Tons of false information being spread around, and while she is busy trying to take down all of these things, this is when a troll appears. And what this is doing is manifesting a real life aspect of what the internet is like. You have tons of people that are constantly just being rude and negative and just mean individuals. And what we're seeing is this AI consciousness manifest that, because the internet, it learned everything it knows from humankind. And this negativity is one of the main driving forces of social media and everything else. Because negativity, it gets the clicks. It gets the people to comment. It gets the people really active in it. And so the AI computer, it learned all of this, and it's manifested real life matter to represent those things. And one of the things we do see is what is referred to as edgelords. And these guys are just representing the worst of the worst, saying girls can't be superheroes, you can't be a superhero because of the color of your skin, whatever the case may be. Just, the worst things imaginable you could say to another human being. These are the living embodiments of that. And this is when she's finally piecing it together, realizing that the AI is taking the worst aspects of us and making it a literal. And so she tries to have a bargain with the machine, tries to bargain with the AI, saying that you've learned a lot of bad habits. You've took the worst of the internet and you've put it into real life application. And so Natasha offers to help the AI consciousness, help it learn a different way, but only if the rampage stops, if all of the violence ends. And that's where we pick back up at Fort Superman, with Superman and Black kind of going over Steel's file, finding out all they can about Natasha, realizing that Metropolis has been left in really good hands. But it looks like Natasha may be hired on to try to be part of this team, with John Henry Irons currently holding the position of Guardian of Metropolis. Natasha is a prime candidate to be able to help out on this team. Now, Superman tells Black that he really needs to start earning his keep, more or less, because this find, Natasha, is more of a Superman find, and Black didn't really have anything to do with it. But Black says that he has two individuals he has in mind. Two individuals, one of them very excited to work with Superman. And so the two of them, they go over to their Supermobile, with Superman, trying not to use his powers if he doesn't have to, and flying becoming even more harder day after day. The Supermobile has come in a huge help for him. But that's when our story takes us to Yemen, and we've been brought to Yemen for two individuals. Those individuals being Apollo and Midnighter. Currently overlooking a base doing some kind of operation, Apollo is not happy right now. He is super insecure. He's worried that Midnighter has been cheating on him. They're just having relationship issues right now. And Midnighter, he tries to tell him that he's just being paranoid, that he's overthinking the situation, and they really should be focusing on the main objective right now, because right now they've been looking for missing telekinetic children, some orphans that have gone missing, and he's pretty sure that he has found them. But even with all of this going on, Apollo still can't help but feel offended right now, because today is their anniversary, and he feels like Midnighter forgot about this. Of course, Midnighter ignoring all of this and saying that the intel was right on the money, because those kids, they were traded for components. They built a freaking Frankenstein monster using spare children parts and giant pro wrestlers, at least by the looks of it. And so without wasting any time, Midnighter, he jumps into action, telling them that he's already anticipated every move that it could ever make, in every possible combination. He's run every conceivable combat scenario, and in every one of these scenarios, this hideous Frankenstein monster beast that was once these poor children, it's going to die. And Midnighter jumps into action, slicing and dicing every single soldier in his way. As their guns fall to the ground, Midnighter thinks he has the upper hand, but he doesn't see the giant beast coming from behind him. And this Frankenstein grabs a hold of him, not realizing that this monster has brains chained together, and so it's thinking faster than Midnighter is. With this hideous monster crushing Midnighter, he calls out to Apollo to sever the chains, to help him in any way he can. And without missing a beat, we see Apollo come glowing in, letting him know that he is there. And Apollo, he hates this, because yet again they are turned into murderers, and that is not something they wanted. Their hand, they feel like, was forced in this situation, that they had no other option but to do this. Now, with this beast defeated, Apollo, he jumps back into this conversation because he's still upset about everything else. But he tells Apollo that he ran every variant of how this would play out, so he knew that he would ruin this moment with self-pity, and he would counter this by letting him know that he did not forget their anniversary, because he was trying to say earlier that he loves him, and that he got him something very special, that they are going to be on a team with Superman, someone Apollo has looked up to his entire life. And this is where we see Superman and Apollo meet. Shaking hands, he is absolutely starstruck, telling Superman that he wanted to be just like him, but he really hopes that he forged his own voice, his own name in this world. But at the end of the day, it all started with Superman. But now that the handshakes are all out of the way, it's time to talk about their new recruit, the next individual that they have to go track down. And this one is not going to be nearly as easy, because the next one is Enchantress. Now this part of the story drops us into kind of like a horror thriller comic. And we're picking up with June, aka Enchantress. And she is with what appears to be her boyfriend Alan, making their way to Hilltop Hotel. It looks like they're trying to do like a B&B for the night. Him trying to surprise her, trying to give her some kind of gift, but this place gives her the freaks, gives her the creeps, and she really doesn't like it here. But as they make their way inside, the butler leads them into a room that is mostly empty, except for some kind of object in the middle of the room covered with some kind of red blanket. And as they get closer and closer, things become more and more sinister. She gets much more uncomfortable, and as they move the blanket away, we realize that Alan has ulterior motives, because as June looks in the mirror, she sees Enchantress. Alan grabbing hold of her, Enchantress saying that they have very little time, and we learn that Alan this whole time has been having an affair with June's alter ego, has been having an affair with Enchantress, and this was all a plan to try to free her, to try to free Enchantress. And as she is thrown into the mirror, she finds herself on the opposite side in a reverse world, and Moore standing in front of her. Because this was the deal, trading June for Enchantress. And June looking through the mirror, seeing Enchantress, seeing Alan, laughing as they walk away, and with June panicking, screaming that they are coming for her. Then we see her strapped to a bed, appearing to get some electroshock therapy. Both Enchantress and Alan standing before her. Alan trying to tell her that it's all fake. Them trying to tell her that she is unwell, but it really appears to be nothing more than a manipulation of her mind. And as Superman and everybody else show up, they realize immediately that there's some space-time damage going on here. Gravitational and thermal anomalies are consistent with heavy matter intrusion. This is all one giant illusion, a hell illusion that they are going to have to rescue the Enchantress from. It's a hell prison that she has created herself, and her thinking that it is completely hopeless. We see June sitting in a wheelchair, appearing to give up all hope as Moore really just tells her that there is no God and all hope is gone, and that she is nothing without him. But as he gives this little monologue, we see someone come flying in the room and send him flying with one single punch. And we see the light break. We see the color start to come back, and Superman is standing in front of her, letting her know that she is in hell. But none of this matters because they are here to rescue her. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I personally think this one was a lot of fun. This was a great introduction to what kind of team members we can expect coming with Superman and the Authority. I think the Enchantress is a great pick. I think that's a great option to go with. Definitely having someone that powerful will definitely be a huge bonus. Superman really is doing his best to try to stack this with heavy hitters, with A-list team members. And so far, the team that they have created could be an absolute wrecking crew. So I am very excited to see what they have in store for what the Authority, what Superman and all of them are going to be going up against. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.